Well, hey guys, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming and helping me out today. I know there are plenty of other things we could have done with our time. Maybe not. No, but you came and you decided to support me today, and for that I really do thank you. I appreciate it. And, your support will not go unnoticed, I promise you that. Well, guys, in case we forgot, my name is Robin Sumlin. I'm a student at the University of North Texas in Denton. I'm taking a summer school class there. It's basically public speaking with the use of media, and that's what we're doing this afternoon. I have a presentation for you, and I'm using PowerPoint. Okay, right. For the sake of this presentation, I want us all to assume or pretend that we are aspiring actors or entertainers, for that matter. We're aspiring entertainers who don't quite yet know how to begin our pursuit in the industry. Right? We don't know how to get started. This presentation is going to be two parts. First, I want to address the question, why? Why are we here? What are we doing? What do we hope to accomplish with this career in the entertainment industry? And the second part is, of course, how do we get started? How do we begin doing the things we want to do? Okay. To get started, I want to tell you a story. I want you guys to meet Jordan. This is Jordan Dalton, super cute kid, right? This picture is actually taken a few years ago. 2011, I had the privilege of going and living in Alabama for a few months, from January to April, as part of a discipleship training program. We lived on this farm for the duration of the time. The owner of the farm, his name was Dr. McCrae. And Dr. McCrae said, look guys, I will let you live on my farm. I will let you do the things that you do. Heck, I'll even be a part of it from time to time. I'll drop in and participate with you guys on the condition that you help me and my workers steward the property. He owned a vineyard on his land. I forget how many acres it was, but it was huge, right? And he had this vineyard, and he grew grapes. And since it's January, there were dead sticks, or at least there was no fruit on the sticks on the vine. And so we would go out there and we would prune the vine to prepare it for the next season. We would mow the grass. We would chop the firewood because it was cold out, right? One kid, he built a forge. I don't know who needs a forge or who uses one these days, but he built one. I guess he wanted to smythe. Is that the word? He wanted to be a blacksmithery. I don't know. One kid built a gazebo from the ground up, just straight up built a gazebo for recreational purposes, I assume. We babysat the kids. We did all kinds of chores to help steward this land. Actually, one time, I don't know if you know what a control burn is, but we got to do one of those. It's basically when you light a forest on fire, but you kind of have boundaries and you're controlling the fire. So we got to light a forest on fire and stand in the middle of it. That was cool. Right, anyway, so that was the condition. And so we're here on this farm. We'd wake up in the morning, we'd study the Word, we would fellowship together, we'd eat, we'd talk about really cool things, and then in the afternoon we would go to work and do these things. One day we took a Sabbath, we had the day off, and so we went down to the University of Alabama, which was not too far away. And we're down there throwing the frisbee, eating ice cream, having a good time. And Jordan is over there, he's with us. Jordan, this house right here was on the property. One of the brothers there, his name was Tyler. His family actually lived on the property. They were workers for Dr. McCrae. That's how we had the connection in the first place. So we're out there, and Jordan, the young son of this worker, is out there, and super cute kid, right? Who doesn't want to go talk to a kid? And so I went up to him, and we're shooting the bull, talking about quantum physics and things like that, right? And I forget how we get to this point in the conversation, but we get there, and I ask him, well, Jordan, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you get older? And he looks at me and he says, I want to be a scientist. And I'm thinking, science, that's cool. Okay, it's a little vague, but still cool. And I'm thinking that, I didn't say it. And I really wanted to know what his desires were, not just what he wanted to do, but like what was on his heart and what he could do with that. So I asked him again, I was like, hey, science, that's really cool. Is there anything else you want to do? And he says, yeah, I want to be a tornado saver. Tornado saver, okay. I assume he did not mean that he wants to save tornadoes from people, but rather he wants to save people from tornadoes. That's noble. That is cool. This kid's 4. I don't even know how he knows what a tornado is, but he knows that he wants to save people from them. That's really cool. Tornado saver. So I'm thinking, I say to him, like, Jordan, that's awesome, right? How good-hearted of you, right? That's so kind to be a tornado saver. And for whatever reason, I asked him again, I was like, scientist, tornado saver, is there anything else you want to do? And he says, yeah, I want to be a race car driver. I'm like, that's really awesome, man. I know some people that want to be a race car driver. You should pursue that. Go for it. Do it, right? And so we're talking about that for a little bit, and for whatever reason, I don't know why I asked him a fourth time, but I did. I said, bro, you want to be a scientist, you want to be a tornado saver, and you also want to race cars. Is there anything else you want to do? And he says, no, I think that when I'm finished with that, it'll be nighttime. Nighttime. Awesome. Kids, man. And so that's Jordan for you. And the reason that I tell you that story is that we all have dreams. We all have aspirations, we have goals, we have things that we want to do with our lives. And some of those things are for our own pleasure, right? Racing race cars, NASCAR. That's not something that does a lot for other people except, just to watch it. It's just something he wants to do for himself, and that's totally cool, man. Go for it. But then there are also things that we do for the betterment of other people, right? I don't know why Jordan wants to be a scientist. I don't know if he just wants to pour this and that into a container and then watch it blow up. I don't know. Maybe he understands that he can help someone with science. I don't know why he wants to be a scientist, but I do know that being a tornado saver is pretty helpful, right? There are a lot of people out there that don't like tornadoes, and he's going to stand up for them. He wants to help people who are hurting from tornadoes, who experience tornadoes, and he wants to do that. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, or we're going to look at a little bit today. Is our motivation for the entertainment industry? Why do we want to do it? Is it for ourselves? Is it something that we want to do? I want to grow up, and I want to be famous. I want to have popularity. I want to have money. Or do we understand that being a celebrity, being successful in the entertainment industry is a great platform, and it's a platform that we can do something with. So that's what we're going to look at here. I want someone to tell me what they think of when they see this, primary love. What do you think of? What comes to mind?
Unconditional love.
Whatever you love most.
Yeah. It's the love that you have for something that is stronger than the love that you have for everything else, right? It's your most passionate desire. When you wake up in the morning, it's what makes you excited to breathe. What are you going to do today to support your primary love? These are the things that you're thinking about, and that's what I guess makes it your primary love. All right, it's the thing that you love more than you love everything else. Now, we're talking about America here. When you think of the generation of young children in America, what do you think, as a whole, generally, gets them excited? What do you think their primary love is? Right? What do you think just gets them giddy?
They want to be like superheroes and like cowboys and stuff, princess.
Yeah. Yeah, kids from a very young age understand that they want to be an icon, right? They want to be a cowboy, or they want to be a princess, or they want to be. I don't know. They see these things. They want to be a part of this pop culture, right? They see the movie Frozen, and they all of a sudden want to be Elsa. They want to walk down the red carpet because they see their favorite people walking down the red carpet, and it's a big thing. They see Taylor Swift down here, and they want to be like Taylor Swift. They dress like she does. They pose like she does. They do the things that they see these celebrities doing because they love it. They think it's super cool, right? Now, when you grow up as an adult, you kind of mature, right? You stop wanting to do these things, okay? You have things to take care of and families to feed and things like that, right? You kind of get out of this. Or do you, right? What happens when you walk into a room and you see a celebrity? You freak out, right? You want to go take a picture with that person, and then you want to post it on social media, right? You see George Clooney, you want to go fanboy. You see Nicolas Cage on an airplane, you want to fangirl. You see Rihanna in a bar, you want to go make her time really awkward. And then you want to post it on social media so everyone thinks you're really cool. Right, so even as an adult, we still obsess over this celebrity culture, this universe of famous people and successful people. And we get excited when we're around it. As an adult, we didn't get to do these things. So now we just really want to be around people that did get to do these things, okay? And we understand, the businesses and corporations, they understand this too, and they use it to their advantage. They understand that we as a nation thrive on this vicarious desire to be like these people. Or we see these people and we're attracted to it, right? And I can't think of a single I can't think of many liquor commercials that don't use some kind of super celebrity in their ads. Now, the alcohol industry is not the only industry to do this, right? We know that we see it in makeup as well. If you go to a Target, a Walmart, CVS, whatever, you find their makeup aisle, you look down, you see celebrities everywhere. You see these faces. Natalie Portman, God, she's so gorgeous, right? But no, you see Halle Berry. I can't even imagine how many times I've seen her on makeup ads. Emma Stone, you see her a lot as well, right? It works, right? We see a celebrity on it. We see this famous face, a successful face, and we go, I love her. I love Natalie Portman. I love Natalie Portman, and this is what she does. This is the makeup that she wears, and so I'm going to wear it too, right? That's the idea behind it, and it works. Okay, and so we understand then that our strongest love, the things that we care about the most, they are also our strongest influence, right? They guide our decision-making process. The things that we love tell us what we want to do, and how we want to spend our time, how we want to spend our money, what we want to focus on, right? I don't know if you can see this picture very well, but it's, I don't know if you've seen the movie Star Wars. This is Chancellor Palpatine and young Anakin Skywalker, of course, the two that become the Emperor and Darth Vader, Darth Sidious and Darth Vader, right? And if you've seen the movie or if you haven't, we know that Chancellor Palpatine, he's a great puppeteer. Throughout the course of the movie, he manipulates two sides of a war to create his own empire, to take over the galaxy, right? But he can't do that on his own, and he knows this. He can't just walk into a room and be like, hey guys, feel like taking over the galaxy today? Who's with me? He can't do that. That's crazy. So he finds Anakin. He sees a young boy with a lot of potential, and he says, I'm gonna use this kid. I'm gonna use him. And so he begins to befriend him. He says, look, Anakin, I know that you have a lot of potential. You're pretty brash, and a lot of people just don't understand you like I understand you, right? You're unpredictable, but a lot of people don't know that you're just looking for love, right? And I'm going to give that to you. I can be your friend, right? Will you trust me? And throughout the course of the movie, towards the end of episode 3, we understand that when Palpatine reveals himself as the Emperor, and Anakin is a little unsure about what to do, the Emperor says, do you trust me? Are you my friend? Do you love me? And if you do, then follow me. And Anakin says, yes, I trust you. I will follow you. What would you have me do, Master? Right? That which we love becomes our influence. Okay? But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Even Jesus says, those who love me, if you love me, pick up your cross and follow me. Right? The things that we love are our influence, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And we can talk about that a little bit later. Okay? And the government understood that in World War II. Look, I don't know if you know your history, but when World War II broke out, America was not a part of it yet. Right? America was out on the sidelines for a while. And the government knew that America should probably get involved. Right? They should probably get involved in the war, but we need the support of the American people first. We can't just go to war without the support of the people. At least in World War II, they said that, right? And the American people are not typically war-mongering people. We don't wake up in the morning and say, who are we going to kill today? What nation are we going to fight? At least the average population doesn't say that, right? And so to go to war with the rest of the world, you really needed support. And so that's what they did. They manipulated the media. They got a hold of the media to influence the people to do that. Comics. Huge back then, and people loved them. So what did they do? They took Captain America and showed him kicking Hitler in the face, right? Bringing the heat down on Hitler, right? I love Captain America, and Captain America is fighting this enemy. So I should think about fighting this enemy too. Superman fighting the Japanese. The Japanese are bad people, and Superman is fighting them. I love Superman. The Japanese must be bad, and so I'm going to fight them too. Green Lantern, I don't even know who this enemy is right here. Somebody threw a tank at the Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern is stopping it. I love the Green Lantern. I don't know what enemy that is, but I'm going to fight him too, right? And they even went as far to make movies, right? Communism is bad. It's the menace. It is this mad brute, right? And we need to fight it. We need to defeat it. We need to get behind this movement, this effort to take over or to defeat communism. right? And so when you have superheroes here wearing their capes and defeating the bad guy, we understand that we can't all be superheroes, right? So we look over here, these men, they're not wearing capes, but they are doing their duty, right? They're going to war. Even these rugby players are becoming military men. They're doing their duty to defeat the enemy. Look at the bottom. Will you follow this glorious example? Will you follow, right? We all know that we love sports, right? So even the sports guys are becoming soldiers. Will you follow them? And do you love them? Will you follow? So that's how the government got the American people to support World War II. A few years later in the Vietnam War, we see the same thing. Opposite motivation, but the same thing. The music industry, right? America was at war with Vietnam, and the leaders in the music industry decided that they were going to influence the people to promote peace and to support peace. And so that's what they did. They weren't street corner preachers standing on the corner screaming out. They weren't on Facebook typing away support peace. No, they went into the heart of the people. What did people love? They loved music. And so they took the leaders of music. And I'm not saying it's a conspiracy thing, right? But we understand that the people who were looked up to, they have the influence, and they decided that they wanted to promote peace. And this is when influence can be a good thing, right? They influenced the people into a positive mindset. And so that's what they did there. And we see the same thing happening today. It's not something that happened a long time ago, right? Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, country music, grunge, right? These are the people that we love. Why? Because they speak to what's inside. You know, if Nicki Minaj is speaking to what's inside, I'm not on board with you, but it works for some people, right? Beyonce, I love Beyonce, right? And I love her, so I'm going to do my hair like she does, and I'm going to wear the things that she does. Nicki Minaj, she's super quirky and fun, and I love her. So when she sings about certain things, and she does certain things in her music video, you're on board with it, when you might not necessarily be on board with those things in a different setting. When she does it, you like it, because it's who she is, and you love her, and you will follow her to support her. From first to last, Korn, Slipknot. You see these bands, or maybe not you, but some people, they see these bands and are like, wow, they speak, they get me, they understand me. I'm going to listen to them. I love them. So when they tell me to do something, I'm going to do it. Maybe not all the time. Some of the music, I know that murdering is bad, so I might not do that. But they tell me to be angry with everyone else, and so yeah, I love them. I'm going to be angry with everyone, right? The rap industry tells you you need money, you need fame, you need the fast life, you need drugs, you need houses, you need cars. I love Paul Wall, I love 50 Cent, Riff Raff, right? And these are the things they're singing about. These are the things they love. And so if I love them and I see them being successful, I'm gonna pursue these things as well, right? These are the things they love. I'm gonna love them too because I love them, right? And it's not just the music industry either. I know a lot of people want to go into fashion. I have a lot of friends doing fashion. And it's the same thing here. There's a TV show on entertainment, on E! News. It's called The Fashion Police, and they're devoted to teaching, right, their consumers about fashion. But they do it this way. They get the consumers to say, wow, these are the people who are interested in us. They love us, right, because they're watching our show. They spend their time watching our show. Now we will tell them what to wear. We will tell them what looks good. We will tell them what's going to get them beat up. We will tell them what is ugly, right? And they don't do it in a positive way either, right? When they see something that doesn't work, they criticize, and they make you believe that it's ugly as well, right? And then when they see something good, they tell you, hey, this is what good looks like. And so the people that love the fashion industry and love this show will see it, and that is what influences them. That is what they will follow, right? And that's the music industry, or I'm sorry, the fashion industry. But guys, I'm tired of telling you how I think media influences the people. So I'm going to play a game, and I want you to tell me how you think media might have an impact on societal economy or social economy. I want you to tell me what impact you think these movies I'm about to show you, what impact they have on the population. Right? I'm going to show you a series of movies, and I want you to tell me what you think happened as a consequence. First movie, Bambi. All right, what do you think happened after Bambi came out?
People cared about the animals more?
Yeah. So after Bambi, the nation, the population said, wow, I love animals, I love rabbits, I love deer, I love skunks, I love nature, right? I love the animals that live in the forest, right? So what actually happened was hunting dropped. by 50%, right? Half of the people that hunted animals, whether for sport or for survival, half those people decided they wanted to stop doing the things that they were doing because of a movie. A movie influenced half of a population to stop doing what they were doing. Half of a population. A movie did that, right? Next movie, a little bit later. Rebel Without a Cause. This might be for some of the older folks. I don't know that the younger folks would have seen this. What do you think happened with this movie? Looking at this character, even if you haven't seen the movie, looking at this character, what do you think this movie was about? And how do you think it influenced? If you want to be cool, you have to be bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this movie was not the sole driving force. It wasn't this movie that single-handedly influenced the culture in this way, but it certainly helped. Right. Rebel Without a Cause taught us that being bad was good. Right, that it was no longer about being respectful and homey and yeah, ma, and yeah, pa, but it was about being cool and being a rebel, right, doing the things that you weren't supposed to do. And if you wanted to be cool, if you wanted to be popular, if you wanted to get the girls, if you wanted people to be your friend, if you wanted to be unique and stand out in a good way, you needed to be rebellious, right? And we see a lot of that culture today. And again, this movie wasn't the only part of that influence, but it was a big part. Right? This was pretty easy.
The people were really afraid of the beach.
Yeah. Beach tourism dropped significantly. Right? People stopped going to the beach because they were afraid of this. And that's pretty. And I know that a lot of people have gotten over it, but at this time, no one went near the water. Right? Because that was scary. Sharks, scary, bad. I like this one, V for Vendetta. If you haven't seen this movie, watch it. I might even go home tonight and watch it again.
It caused the civilization to hate the government and cause anarchy.
Okay, yeah. So this movie, now the idea was already there before this movie came out, but this movie certainly stoked the fire, certainly woke up that idea of don't trust the government. Man, the government is full of greedy people. It's full of snakes and evil and darkness and corruption. You need to stand up against it, right? You need to listen to what's in here and do what's in here. Stand up against the government. Quit listening to it, right? Anarchy, chaos, right? It even got to the point there's before this movie came out. This group was already there. It's called Anonymous. I believe they like to hack into networks. They like to just screw things up, cause a little, stir the waters, cause a little trouble, chaos every now and then. So they were brought about in 2004. I believe this movie came out in 2005. But this group that was already there saw this movie and they adopted this Guy Fawkes mask as their face, right? So this group that was devoted to anarchy adopted this symbol, right? You can go online and Google Anonymous, just Anonymous, and this is the first thing you see, right? And so this is the influence that this movie had on our culture. Again, these ideas are already here, but they certainly help promote the ideas. Okay, I got one more for you guys. Idiocracy. What do you think happened after this? I'm just kidding. Yeah, everyone watches the movie and then becomes stupid, right? No. This is a funny movie. Watch it if you want to. It's great. Okay. But no, so movies influence the way that we behave, right? We know this. There's a popular phenomenon going on right now. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but the whole "Bye Felicia." I don't know if you know that, but it came from this movie called Friday. When someone you don't like, you want them out of your face. Bye Felicia. It's this movie. There's a woman that's walking off, and Ice Cube says, "Bye Felicia." That's not my name. He says, "So, bye Felicia. I don't care what your name is. Just bye." Right? And it's an attitude that we now carry in today's culture. Right? When you're upset with somebody and you want them out of your face, "Bye Felicia." Right? Get out of here. Right? And that it bothers me. Okay, but and it came from a movie. Right? A movie gave that to us. Okay. So understanding that entertainment, the things that we consume as consumers, can influence us and direct us and guide us and tell us what we're going to do, how we're going to live our lives. Understanding that people with that power can do that, right? And you wanting to go into the industry, what is your motivation? What are you going to do with the power that you have? Are you going to take that power and then teach other people to follow your pursuit of money, your pursuit of fame, your pursuit of what you think success is, right? Or do you want to use it as a platform and understand that the things you say and the things you do teach other people who appreciate you to do the same thing, right? So understand that you have a lot of power, and we need to consider our motivation, right? And so once you prayerfully consider that motivation, once you understand why you're going into the industry and what you hope to accomplish, the question is, how do we get started? What do we do, right? How do we go about doing this? Step one, headshots. All right, now there are two kinds of headshots. The headshot is a picture, okay? It is the first thing that a casting director will see when you go into an audition. First thing they see, and it's you. There's what's called a theatrical headshot. This is the headshot that is used for film. It's a little more serious. If you've seen the movie Tangled, you know the smolder, right? Film is the big dog of TV, right? It's the A-listers, right? The varsity team. So they take it a little bit more seriously. Not that the other aspects are to be forgotten, but film is huge. And so we're gonna take it a little bit more seriously. This is a theatrical headshot, right? There's not a whole lot of smiling going on. It's really for the eyes. If you notice this picture, his eyes are pretty prominent. Sometimes you can have your mouth open just a little bit, sometimes not. And it's usually just from the chest up. It's a little bit more serious, right? It's for film, theatrical headshot. Then you go into commercial headshots, and these are for TV shows, for commercials, for I don't know if you're doing any kind of promotional work, live action promotional work, standing out in the I don't know, whatever you're doing. Commercial headshot. This is where you get to cheese a little bit, right? You get to show those pearly whites. You get to have fun with the picture, right? Because you're on TV, you're not as serious. You're just a little bit more loose, and they want to see what you look like as a happy person. Commercials for TV and commercials. Theatricals for film. These are the two different kinds of headshots. Can you tell me what you noticed first about these two different headshots?
The one on the right has her name on it.
Yeah, this one has her name, her name is in the white border there, right? You got a white border around the picture, and you have her name. This is what a headshot should look like. So while that picture, that's a pretty good picture. Once you take the picture and you have it printed, you need to make sure that it has this white border and your name. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you need your name on your headshot?
So they know who she is.
Yeah, so people look at your picture and they know who they're looking at, right? If I just see that picture, I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. I know this is Amanda, right? Okay, and so it's just easier for them to know who you are. So make sure that both theatrical and commercial headshots have the border around them, all right? Step two, resume, okay? This is pretty important. This is where you will have all your information, right? Your name, eye color, hair color, height, age. If you have a manager, if you are, it's called SAG. If you're a part of a union, right? If you're part of a big actors guild that protects you as unions do, or if you're just on your own doing your own thing as an amateur, which at this point we all are, right? You have all your work listed. You have film work, you have television work, you have industrial. These are like commercials. You have theater, right? If you are involved in stage acting, print work. This is modeling. If you've done any modeling in catalogs, right? Not Runway, but if you've done JCPenney print or anything like that. Training. If you've gone to any class, if you've taken any classes that have taught you and trained you in something. I've taken stunt fighting classes. I've taken dark characters with dark pasts. I've taken classes on that. I've taken modeling classes, I've taken improv classes, things like that. This is where you put those, the name of the class, who taught it. You have any special skills here as well. If you know how to ride a motorcycle, if you know how to rock climb, if you know how to play 7 different instruments all at the same time, if you run really fast, if you can sing, these types of things, anything that you think might be useful in a project, that's where you put that. Okay, that's your resume. And I know that none of us really have resumes yet. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well, okay? Step 3, auditions. This is huge, all right? You can't just wake up one morning, decide you want to be an actor, take some pretty pictures, print off a blank piece of paper and put your name on that, call it a resume, and then call yourself an actor, right? You can't do that. You need to actually work. But how do you get work, right? You haven't done anything yet. No one's going to hire you if you have no experience. Good thing you're not being paid right off the bat, right? Okay, so auditions. This is how we're going to get started with these. You're absolutely right. No one's really going to hire you if you don't have a lot of experience, but there are ways to get started still. One of those ways is actorsaccess.com. It's free to get started. Once you have your first couple pictures and then a resume, it's about $2 for every submission. You pay $2 to add a new photo. It's really inexpensive, not a big deal. A lot of people use it. You can go on there, again, add your pictures, your headshots, your resume, everything like that. And then you can go look at who's doing what in the area. If you're in New York, you can look at who's in New York. If you're in the South, you can look at who's in Austin, Georgia, Louisiana, places like that. Who's doing what? You can submit for it, again, like $2. You can look at the roles that they're offering, see if you match up with any of them, send them an email saying, hey, I'd like to be a part of this. Will you consider me? And then they'll, most of the time, have you out for an audition, and then you can show your stuff there at the audition. Okay? If you don't want to use Actors Access, if you don't want to pay, there's a really good, we're in Texas, there's a really good website in Texas called shortfilmtexas.com. You do not have the ability to put a headshot or a resume in the website, right? But you still go on here and you can look at, this gets much more local. You can look at who's in Denton, who is in Houston specifically, who is in downtown Dallas specifically. You can very focused, very pinpointed with your casting calls. Again, you look on here, casting call for Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas feature film, Tiger Eye Films. And you can click on that, you say that looks interesting, click on it, you can read what the film is about, you can see what roles they need, you can see who's directing, who's writing, things like that. And then it'll have an email on there that says please send, you can email them your headshot. That's step 3. Social media, this is pretty important, all right? You, as an actor, are in business for yourself, at least at the beginning, right? You're your own promoter. You're the one telling people about what you do. You're the one encouraging people to be a part of your career. You're the one building your own fans. Social media, build yourself a Facebook page, a Twitter account, an Instagram account, whatever. This is my Facebook page. I use the name Robin Lewis. I'll go like the page. Please do it. Right? This is where you can encourage your friends and then eventually people who you don't even know to come and support you. And you can post all your films here, right? Example, hey all, here's a trailer for my next upcoming short film. We'll begin filming in 2 weeks. Get excited. You can promote yourself that way on social media. It's so important you do that. You can build your own websites, things like that. Really good stuff. All right. So now, what I want us to do is I want us to practice writing resumes. Okay. I want us to. I'm going to hand out a sheet of paper to everyone. And we're going to take 30 seconds. So I want us to draw a quick headshot of ourselves. Right, on one piece of paper, another piece of paper. I'm going to have us practice writing resumes. I know we don't really have anything to put on there yet, so we can make stuff up, okay? I'll leave this up here so we can look at it, just as an example, name, what information to put on there, how to set it up, right? The name of the project, what role you had, were you an actor, were you a lead actor, co-star, whatever, who directed, who produced, right? Title, role, and then who's in charge of it, training, special skills, things like that. I'll leave this up here and we can get started on that, all right? Sound good? Okay. Okay, so do we all have our headshots drawn and resumes drafted? Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to take the headshots and we're going to staple it to the back of the resume, front and back, so you have the resume here, flip it over, and then you'll be looking at your headshot with your name on it. And that's how you hand it to a casting director, right? Just one nice clean document so they don't have to flip through a lot of things when they're looking through their submissions. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to split you off into 2 groups. One is the casting director group, the other is full of actors. And we're going to practice our elevator speech. It's about the amount of time you spend in an elevator. It's a little over a minute, minute and a half. And we're going to practice talking to each other. A lot of people don't understand that half the audition is your acting, the other half is your ability to interview, just like a normal job interview. Okay. The casting director wants to know if you're friendly, if you're arrogant, if you're rude, if you're easy to work with. It's just how you present yourself, right? They want to know these things. And in this minute and a half, I want you to talk about your experience as a film actor or a stage actor, right? And make it up. I know we don't have a lot going on right now, okay? So you're just going to talk about some of the things you've done in film, your experiences in film, right? As a film actor, you don't need to talk about your print work necessarily. As a musician, you don't need to talk about your film work. As a stage actor, you don't need to talk about commercials that you've done, you know what I mean? So try and stick to what it is you're trying to sell yourself for. If you have anything unique, go for it, right? I went scuba diving with a whale shark. Doesn't have anything to do with film, but it's interesting and they remember me for it. So if you have anything like that, feel free to throw it in. So that's what we're gonna do, all right? I'm gonna give you about a minute to a minute and a half. We're gonna just practice the interview skills. Sound good? All right, let's get started.
Hello, my name's Jade. I've done 6 movies. Pretty special, lead actor. Do my own stunts. It's pretty cool.
Hey, I'm Anna. I've been in many films. I've been a lead actor in all of them. I have much experience with lots of actors and actors.
Hi, my name's Peyton. I have been in theater all my life. I'm a really good actor. I've done ballet, beauty classes, all that stuff.
Okay, so hopefully by this point we've discovered why we're doing this, right? What our motivations are, and then hopefully we've attained some skill to at least help us get started. All right, so we know why we're doing it, how to get started, and at this point, hopefully we're ready to start getting after it. All right. So again, thank you guys for coming out. I really, really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and we're awesome. Thank you so much.